In the Tampa area, you're going to expect the potential for significant life-threatening storm surge, devastating storm surge, 10 to 15 feet of inundation from, say, Clearwater down to Sarasota, where we have that storm surge warning in effect, with the core of a major hurricane making landfall as well, with the potential for devastating hurricane force winds, life-threatening flooding from the combination of the surge and the heavy rainfall. So it's really going to be a very, very dangerous, perhaps one of the most impactful hurricanes that's ever hit West Central Florida.
About a monster storm targeting Florida's Gulf Coast, and this is the second in 2 weeks. Hurricane Milton exploded in strength today with winds topping 180 miles per hour. It is now expected to make landfall late Wednesday or early Thursday. Check out this ominous view of Milton today from the International Space Station. Forecasters say if it stays on its current track, this will be the worst storm to hit the Tampa area in more than a century. Now, Florida's governor declared an emergency for much of the state, warning residents, especially those vulnerable to its potential 15-foot surge of seawater, to evacuate as soon as possible. Look at this.
Well, talking about that storm surge that you mentioned, if that were to hit right where I'm standing, I would be well underwater. And take a look at Tampa from above. You can see that the city is surrounded by inlets just like this one. Once the storm hits, all of that water has to go somewhere.
As Milton menaces Florida, millions are under mandatory evacuation orders.
This is the storm of the century.
Now the west coast of Florida is bracing for another life-threatening storm just 11 days after Helene. It's expected to make landfall in Tampa, and nearly half the city is being told to get out.
A major hurricane is barreling toward Florida. Hurricane Milton is now a powerful Category 5 as it churns in the Gulf of Mexico, expected to make landfall on Wednesday evening, aiming directly at an area that doesn't usually see direct hits from hurricanes like this, Tampa Bay. Right now, Milton is threatening millions in its path with dangerous storm surge, severe flooding, and damaging winds as well.
Officials are warning people, get out now, with evacuation orders in place for 5 counties along the state's west coast. You see them there in red. And Milton will be the second major hurricane to hit Florida here in less than 2 weeks.
We're really worried about that west coast of Florida. No matter what the intensity is, this storm will be wide. We'll find impacts across the entire peninsula. But look at this. It's just been hard to find words to describe the eye, the symmetry. Like, it is just incredibly strong right now. A Category 5 hurricane with 160 mile per hour winds gusting up towards 200 miles per hour. The rapid intensification this morning has been mind-blowing. We have seen an increase in the center winds, almost 100 miles per hour in just 24 hours. It has just exploded in those incredibly warm ocean temperatures. It scrapes the Yucatan Peninsula as this massive Category 5 storms. It weakens some as it gets towards the Florida Peninsula here, but we're still dealing with a major hurricane, a Category 3 or 4 in that hurricane watch area there in the pink. We'll start to find those impacts again going into Wednesday. That's when we'll start to find some of those outer bands coming in, that landfall somewhere on the west coast of Florida sometime late on Wednesday. We are incredibly worried about this storm surge. The current forecast is for 8 to 12 feet for parts of Tampa Bay. They have never seen storm surge that high. They just hit records in Helene, and this could surpass that. Boris?
We've known each other many years, but this is the first time you ever came to me for counsel and for help. I can't remember the last time that you invited me to your house for a cup of coffee. But let's be frank, you never wanted my friendship, and you didn't need a friend like me. But now you come to me and you say, Don Corleone, and give me justice. But you don't ask for respect. You don't offer friendship. You don't even think to call me Godfather.
How much shall I pay you?
Buonasera. What have I ever done to make you treat me so disrespectfully? If you'd come to me in friendship, then the scum that ruined your daughter would be suffering this very day. And if by chance an honest man like yourself should make enemies, then he would become my enemies. and then they will fear you.
Are you my friend? Godfather?
Good. Someday, and that day may never come, I'll call upon you to do a service for me. But until that day, accept this justice as a gift of my...
This was never about money for us. It was about us against the system. That system that kills the human spirit. We stand for something. To those dead souls inching along the freeways in their metal coffins, we show them that the human spirit is still alive.